Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual pricing for $15,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 52-year-old male. Now, first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website. We've got these free quoters on just about every page. Select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. And then select the coverage amount. And then put your birthday in there, other info, click Get Quotes Now, and it will take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies in your state with all the lowest pricing, and you will be an exceptionally smart consumer at that point, and we can help you qualify for anything that you see that you like. We've got our toll-free number, 888-862-9456, and you can just call us, and we can actually run those numbers directly over the phone for you as well, too. Now, the first thing you need to understand as a 52-year-old male looking at $15,000 is that $15,000, is that going to take care of all your final expense needs when you do pass away? Now, that's typically going to be either cremation or burial. So let's look at both of those. So cremation, the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. Now, that's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, nothing fancy. If you're going to have some sort of a ceremony, like a celebration of life ceremony, something like that, remember it's ceremony. In addition to the cremation, that'll probably be $3,500 to $4,500 or so. So yeah, $15,000 is going to be more than adequate to take care of that. Might actually even be a little bit overinsured, but 52 is still pretty young. You could live an awful long time. Kind of typically what we would recommend is around, for that cremation where you're coming home in a cardboard box or an urn, maybe between $5,000 to $7,000. That's more than the cremation costs right now. That'll inflation-proof your plan for many years to come. And if something happens sooner, there's a little extra money there to maybe take care of some of the medical bills or other final expenses. If you're going to have the ceremony in with the cremation, we'll probably recommend $7,000 to $10,000 or so. But if you want to get a little bit more insurance just to make sure that you never have to worry about this again in the future, we can help you out with that. We don't recommend getting like $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, whatever $1,000 and leaving money behind for the kids with this type of insurance as a rule, because it just gets a little bit more expensive. And most of the people we work with are on a fixed or limited income. We just want to save them money. Just get an amount of insurance that's going to be the right amount. So we just don't recommend over insuring. Kind of keep that money in your own pocket. You can always add more coverage later, if you do choose to go a little bit lower right now. Now, if you're going to be buried, the average cost of a burial in the United States right now is right around $10,000. So if you walk into a funeral home with a $10,000 check, they'll probably get things done for you. It's not going to be anything fancy, I can guarantee you that. But it'd be hard to imagine that a funeral home wouldn't take a $10,000 check and instead let it walk out the door and walk down to one of their competitors. We don't see that really happening. But understand, too, that at age 52, you're probably going to hopefully live to 72 or 62 or 72, maybe even 82. So you might want to get a little bit more coverage. Typically, we would help people out with anywhere between maybe $10,000 to $15,000 would be our most common amounts, maybe up to $20,000. But also, if you're on a fixed or limited income and can only afford $10,000, just do that. We can always help you add more coverage later. So, yeah. The other thing is first day coverage. We really stress first day coverage. That's all we help people with at Funeral Funds of America is first day coverage or benefits. And the reason that's important is if you've got a policy and you just got approved for the policy today and you died tomorrow with first day coverage, the insurance companies is going to pay that. You can have made just one payment and one day later, and they will pay that death benefit. And that's much different than a 2-year waiting period plan where they don't pay anything in the first 2 years if it's a health or medical related cause of death. So now a lot of people would say, well, I want the first day coverage, but I know they ask health questions and, I'm not in the best of health. To which we say, hey, your health is our problem, not your problem. That's why we work with so many different insurance companies so that we can get the right one for you. They all ask different health questions. They all have different underwriting. And right now we've got about a 95% first day approval with our clients. So The only reason you really wouldn't qualify for first aid coverage is if you had some really significant health issues, like, a terminal illness and you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or maybe dementia, or you're on dialysis, or you're in a hospital or in a nursing home, something like that. If that were the case, we'd probably refer you out to a different insurance company. The other thing that can happen, and it seems like this happens like every week, somebody will call up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week. They didn't have insurance. We don't have the money. Their body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral director is not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. Therefore, we need to get this policy really quick so we can get a check in our hands to get that check in the hands of the funeral home guy. At which point we need to say, there is no insurance company in America that will issue a policy on somebody who's already died. You can't get a life insurance policy on a dead person. And it's really just a tragedy, because the person who died, they knew they were going to die someday. They probably thought they'd take care of this, and they never did. And then, today arrived and they didn't make it through the day. And now their family is really suffering, both financially and emotionally, because there's no money there. The family's going to have to figure out how to do that money, or just, it's awful, absolutely awful. And then that just brings on the emotional component where, their emotions are already a mess from losing you, but, then to just worry about coming up with the money and just everything else. So, it's really unexcusable in this day and age not to have some insurance if you don't have the funds to take care of it, already set aside, to have some insurance to pay for your final wishes and your kind of just those final expenses associated with your death. So don't be that person. This insurance is affordable. You don't want your legacy to be your entire family when your name comes up every time they think about how you didn't take care of this, and you force them to pay everything and have to scramble, and just all the emotional angst that you'd cause just because you didn't think you were going to die this soon. So don't be that person. Don't be that person. So we don't recommend 2-year waiting period plans. So Colonial Penn, if you don't know this, their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period plan. Ha ha ha, you probably didn't know that. There's other 2-year waiting period plans out there too, like, let's see, Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber, and there's a lot of other insurance companies. That's the only thing they offer is a 2-year waiting period plan. And we don't recommend those at all, because what that means is they're not going to pay out any death benefit, any insurance death benefit, if you die from any health or medical related cause of death in the first 2 years. And none of us knows if we're going to be here another 20 seconds or another 20 years. Why would you settle for a plan that automatically has a 2-year waiting period? We don't recommend it. So another thing to consider, a lot of males age 52, they would see that Colonial Penn commercial and they would go, oh my gosh, for $9.95, I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, perhaps even $50,000. And then they talk with somebody at Colonial Penn, or, they look it up online like we are on their website, male age 52, $9.95, going to get you 1 unit, and it's going to be $1,565. Now, that is probably, in some parts of the country, that's not enough for a cremation. On average, it probably is, but you know what? This policy is not going to pay out in the first 2 years because it's got a 2-year waiting period. Yeah. So, and then also 2 years from now, that $1,565 is not going to be worth that due to inflation. So, yeah, there's just a lot of companies out there. They'll tell you the only thing you qualify for is a 2-year waiting period, to which we go, ha, 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 ha. Do not fall for such mischievousness. Yeah, they're flat out not telling you the truth, because we help people with first aid coverage all day long. So if we're looking at $15,000, we've got to add more units. And that's why we always recommend you kind of be very cautious of these companies that have these low teaser rates, because is it out of the realm of possibility that they came up with a super low rate just to get you to call and then perhaps upsell you? Oh, could that ever happen? Probably not. Let's see. So we've got to figure out, we got to We got to like play with the numbers to see what's going to come in around $15,000. You can't get exactly $15,000 with Colonial Penn because they've got these per unit pricing. You always end up with these wackadoodle numbers like 1,565. Let's see, what's 8 units? 12,520. We got to go higher. We got to go 9,000, 14,000. No, we're not there yet. We got to go 10,000. Okay, 15,650. That's as close as we're going to get. And there we go, $99.50, basically a $100 bill. So let's compare that to first day coverage and see if we can save some money. And I guarantee you we can save some money. So here we go. $15,000, male, age 52, get quote. Let's go back and look at this. Again, this is around $15,000 for $100, and we can get first day coverage for $42.60. This is level coverage. That means first day coverage. And we work with Trinity. We can help you out with them. They're a great company. Easy approval. We can get same day approval process over the phone. But look at this. So you're going to get right around 15 for 99, and you can get 15,000 for 42. So Colonial Penn is like, yeah, it's more than 200% higher for the same amount of coverage. And Colonial Penn will also allow you the privilege of a 2-year waiting period, which we don't recommend. And they will also allow you the privilege of overpaying on this policy for the rest of your life. And that makes no sense at all. So that is right around $60 a month, more or less. So that would be roughly $720 more a year. And if you lived another 10 years, that'd be roughly overpaying right around $7,200 for essentially the same amount of coverage. Why on earth would you overpay $7,000-ish when you could get the same coverage for less money and not have a 2-year waiting period? Why would you do that? Why would you ever get a plan that's got those yuck? It's got that yuck with it. So anyway, let's look at some other insurance companies here. So 42, and you'll be able to see all these different companies on the quoter we provide for you. So like Lumico here, level coverage, first day coverage, $61 versus 42. So roughly $20 more a month to $20. That'd be $240 a year. And that roughly, and then that would be roughly $2,400 you would overpay in the next 10 years. Why would you overspend $2,400 when you could just get a different insurance company and save money and keep it in your own pocket? Spend it on yourself. Spend it on your family. Don't give it to an insurance company. Don't be silly. So let's look at another company here. Oh yeah. So Lincoln Heritage here. So they're a fine company, I guess. I mean, their pricing's higher. That's interesting. Level coverage. So that's good first day coverage. But yeah, their pricing's higher. And they've got a deal where when you pass away, that, they'll call 2-3 funeral homes, maybe do a couple other things, try to get the lowest pricing and stuff like that. But you pay for it. It's not like it's a free service. You pay for it. So that's $66 compared to 42. So roughly about $25 more a month. I'm just going to round numbers here. Roughly $25. That's an extra $300 a year. And that would be over 10 years, an extra $3,000, just roundabout, that you would overpay. Now you got to ask yourself, is it worth it for a company to pay a company an extra $3,000 or so to call 2 or 3 funeral homes and maybe do a couple other things that maybe only will take an hour or so? So a lot of people would say that's a pretty good payday for the insurance company. And we would probably tend to agree. So what we've done is we've created a free funeral and estate planning guide. We provide that free of charge. And you can just download that from our website, print it out, just fill out who gets what goes where, and then what you want to occur after you're gone. And then that way you just keep that with your insurance policy. And then that way when you do pass away, your family goes and gets the insurance policy, the funeral and estate planning guides right there with it. and they can open that thing up and they will know exactly what you wanted done. And that you've got the insurance policy that's going to provide the funds to do that. And what a gift of love that is to take care of them both emotionally and financially, so that they don't have to worry about this. They just open up the funeral and estate planning guide and they just follow your directions. And what a wonderful gift, again, to leave behind. And they will know that you took care of this while you were alive, and you took care of this at a time when you were doing well, and you provided for them at a time when you would not be doing well, and when they would need you the most, when you were actually, in the process of leaving this earth or after you'd been gone. So what a gift of love to leave behind. So go to Funeral Funds of America. You can fill out our quote here on just about every page. We've got a special one for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. We've got our own quote there where you can get the most discounts and best rates. And you can call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456. Talk with one of our licensed agents. They can look at all the pricing for you. And, if you've got an existing policy and you just want to price shop it to see if you've got the best rates, or if you want to add coverage to that, we can help you out with that. If you're looking for a brand new policy, we can help you out with that. If you just want help understanding the policies, or you want information, or just kind of want to see if this is the right fit for you, we can help you out with that too. We look forward to the day that we actually get to either meet with you or talk with you or help you out with this. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.